Ladies and gentlemen, hold up a minute. I'm going to let you finish, but Beyonce... What was I going to say? Oh yeah, just a real quick announcement before we begin today's video. IOST is a top 55 rank project and they have a mainnet launch coming next month. And they are looking currently for witnesses or node holders, however you want to call it. So I want to throw my hat into the ring. I want to try and represent a community. If you hold IOST or you know anyone else that holds a lot of IOST, please do vote for me. There is a link down below. The more votes I get, the more time I'll be able to dedicate to it. With that out of the way, back to you, Mr. Daily. Great video, by the way. Amazing stuff. I love it. We have still held around 3,550 so far, despite the ETF withdrawal. Let me just start again. Damn it. Ladies and gentlemen. We got him. Like a boss.
10 transactions, please press 1.
Like a boss. Oh yes, I keep the bank rolling.
View. Bitcoin looks likely to witness a triangle breakout in the next day or two that would allow a rally to resistance levels lined up at 3774 and 4000. Or another view, a triangle breakdown. Acceptance, because we've got this triangle forming right here, you see? Wow. Acceptance below 3470 would reinforce a primary bearish trend, downward sloping 10-week moving average and boost the odds of a drop toward December lows near 3100. I'm so sick of TA and its 50-50 nature at this point, but to give it credit, it is a much nicer way of saying I have no clue. So people predict a bottom for Bitcoin to be anywhere from 3,000, 2,500, all the way down to 1,250, being around the most negative, realistic things that people say. It's not going to zero because I will buy every Bitcoin there is at 1 cent, so there you go. Got ya. To be clear, the bottom will not be what most people think it is inherently, because who would sell at the bottom knowing that, okay, everyone expects this to be the bottom? Or another reason, people will buy and get impatient and set buy lures higher than that. So inherently, the bottom is actually going to be higher or lower than where most people think it's going to be. Anyway, let's look at these numbers. Let's say Bitcoin price up here is around 3,550, let's say. And let's say the bottom is 3,000. That represents, I feel like a game show host, a 15% drop. Is that right? Yes, that is correct, I am told. Let's say Bitcoin bottom is 2,500. That would represent a 30% decrease.
Oh, hell no!
That's not so nice. But what if Bitcoin went down to 1,250? That would represent a 65% drop, rounded up.
Oh, hell no!
Is that possibility worth selling all that you have and either later on setting a buy lure or buying the dip or shorting the market, meanwhile running the risk that you sold the bottom and Bitcoin was never actually going to get cheaper than that? I don't know. I guess it depends on how much money you're currently working with, but something that I'm thinking is that if it isn't much, many people are going to look at 15 or 30% and think, you know what, I'll risk it. That's less of a risk than actually selling the bottom for Bitcoin. But let us know what you're doing in the comments below. I would love to hear your theories. Also, if you like turtles or not. Moving swiftly along, the big news right now is, of course, the ETF withdrawal because of the government shutdown. This was the dreaded outcome that we actually spoke about in this video about a week ago, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But what people do want to know is, when can we expect a Bitcoin ETF now? Well, not now, but no one knows for sure. Basically, the SEC has no Bitcoin ETF proposals set before it at all. Nothing pending. VanEck CEO Jan van Eck, cool, said the companies will refile and re-engage in the discussions with the SEC when the shutdown ends. He did not provide a timeline for when this may happen. Of course, no one knows. And indeed, it is unclear when the government will reopen. While the US Senate was set to vote on 2 different bills that could potentially reopen the government, neither bill passed. Damn. Also, Bakkt is pretty much basically just waiting on the sidelines right now. The platform is yet to gain regulatory approval from the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. This has meant that the launch has had to be postponed until such approval is secured. It seems that the Bakkt platform is now only waiting for a green light from the CFTC for it to finally open for business. To be a contrarian though, I think this might ultimately be the best decision. No one wants to see an ETF approval greeted by a roar of crickets and an unmoving market. No one wants to see that. I don't expect an ETF to cause a bull run. I don't think many of us do. Not right now. The horrors of 2018 are still quite fresh in many a mind, and for new investors as well. If, let's say, for example, 2019, Bitcoin trades sideways for the whole of it, that might be considered a positive, especially amidst the volatility in other markets. And then it would increase investor faith, and then we hit them with the ETF.
What I try to tell you?
Lesbian.
What I try to tell you? This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get
ETF approval. First we get the money, then we get the power, then we get the ETF approval. Segueing neatly onto the topic of today's video. Does Bitcoin's Lightning Network eliminate the need for altcoins? You may be surprised to hear from myself that unequivocally no. Unequivocally, oh, I do sound posh. But why, Daily, you maximalist daily uploader you? Surely yes. Let's do some analysis then. What purposes are altcoins attempting to meet, and what weaknesses in Bitcoin are they attempting to fill, if any? So we're going to have many possible answers here, but for the sake of benefiting my own argument, let's say, for example, development differences. I'm going to reference that a few times. For example, Vitalik Buterin.
Vitalik rhymes with the word double chocolate chip biscuit.
I love that video. He went to the Bitcoin developers initially, and he came to them with the ideas of running blockchains on top of blockchains, and they looked at him and thought, that's crazy. His wild plans would simply reduce the security of the Bitcoin protocol. Get out of here with that nonsense. And he went on to form something called Ethereum. I don't know. Something like that.
He is the creator of the Ethereum blockchain, also known as better than Bitcoin.
And what's this? Bitcoin Cash? They wanted bigger blocks. They also wanted no SegWit, so more profitability for miners. Had Bitcoin implemented or not implemented those two things, I believe we wouldn't have a Bitcoin Cash today. So definitely you can say that that was development differences. I'm gonna hate editing this later. What about, let's say, what's the next one? EOS. Whatever it's called, Ethereum has sacrificed speed and efficiency for decentralization, and EOS has gone about it in the completely opposite way. And I could go on and on. A lot of projects that are popular today are popular because they offer something different to the market, something that really kind of wasn't there before. And it's not just the speed and the cheapness of which you can make a payment, although that is still extremely important. But what about Litecoin or Dash? They used to jump nicely in the market, but now surely doomed. They're just trying to cover up a reason to exist when they actually don't really have any. Now, yes, I do understand that argument, but what if you don't like the Lightning Network? Or what if it doesn't work out? Will there be no other coins giving you an alternative? No, this market is filled with alternatives. Some people want something a little different, you know? And we're not even going into the theory that a lot of altcoins exist simply for gains. Remember, Bitcoin went from pennies to thousands, and many people who missed out on that want to recreate that. Of course, that's inevitable. But having said all that, I would definitely approach a project that's got nothing else except speed and cheap fees with extreme caution, like this cat. Unless it's ADA, of course. Hey, got him. But let me know what you think. Am I woke AF or am I just rambling? I'm 50-50 about it, a bit like TA. Hey, got him. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that bell. Because YouTube sucks and it's not sending out notifications. And I'll see you again. What day is it today? Friday? I'll probably see you on Monday. Peace.